All right, folks, today I'm taking a break a little bit from the Memoir 44 stuff. I wanted to show you this game that I've been talking about ever since it came out. Kind of Tom, but I like it more than Tom does. So I'm going to say that I have been the Dice Tower champion of Jamaica ever since the beginning. We both have sung its praises very much so, but I have never relented. And so what I'd like to do is take you through and show you what's in Jamaica. Now, I do have a caveat that this is, I believe, a first print or a first, I don't know what you would call it, I don't really care. But basically, they've changed the box cover, at least. They've changed the box cover art a little bit, makes it a little bit more colorful. I thought it was a good choice. It makes the box cover pop a little bit better. So as I go through what you get in the box, some of it might look a little bit different, some of it may not. Just wanted to give you that heads up, though. Let's take a look. All right, so as we open the box, you'll see, "Aye, they be gold there, mateys." Yeah, there's gold, and this is actually the rule book, which opens up kind of like a treasure map. Yeah. Not exactly the best graphical design choice there. However, we go through, and here's the game board. We'll open that up a little bit later. And then we have the cargo hold that each player will be taking. So this represents one space in their cargoes that in the belly of their ships. All right, so it plays up to 6 players. There's 6 little boards here. That's pretty cool. Then we have the actual cards of that each player will take: blue, green, purple, red, purple again, yellow, and black. All right, and these are the actual cards that are going to be given to each player for their player color. There's blue, green, purple, red, and black. Here they are right here. All of the different ships as well. Down here in the belly is the treasure cards that are going to be representative of different kinds of loot and booty that you're going to be able to pick up along the way. Here we have the first player token. Here are treasure chest tokens that are going to be placed on the board proper, so that whenever a player lands on that space, they get to actually take a treasure card. And these are the ships that come along with them. They're actually great molds. My copy came with, they almost feel like they're porcelain almost. But they're pretty durable, so I don't know that they're actually porcelain or not. I think the ones that come with the copies that are coming out now are plastic, and I think mine are better. Anyway, here are the 2 dice that are going to be rolled. They're big wooden dice with just regular pips on them. They hold up pretty well. And then there is also the battle die that is going to be rolled if you land on a space that is already occupied by another pirate. You're going to roll this die. We'll get to that in a minute as well. Then you have gunpowder tokens, gold tokens, doubloons, and then food tokens, which you're going to need as well. The crew has to eat, right? So that's what comes in a box of Jamaica. Let's go ahead and take a look at gameplay. Okay, here I have a 3-player version of Jamaica set up. Each person starts with 3 gold and 3 food. So as you can see, you already have that set up. Then each player is to shuffle their deck, draw the top 3 cards, and that becomes their hand. All right. So as we begin the game, setup is pretty simple. Each player takes their ship and puts it in Port Royal. The point of the game is to race around the island of Jamaica. The first person back to Port Royal actually triggers the end of the game, although they may not win. And I'll explain why they may not win later on. All of the treasure tokens are taken and placed on all of the islands that have the visage of a skeleton head, a skull, and that's done there. The treasure cards are shuffled and placed here in the hold. And let me just go over the cards a little bit. Some of them are cursed treasure. They're -3 points, -2 points. Some of them are good treasures, +3. Some of them are special ability cards that allow you to do different things during the course of the game. This one allows you to re-roll your attack dice or make somebody else re-roll theirs. This one allows you to have 4 cards in your hand instead of just 3. Another cursed treasure, good treasure, very good treasure. And this one allows you to have +2 gunpowder every battle that you take place in. So this is a pretty cool card to have too. This is an extra hold card, which can come in very handy, especially when you have a pile of gold that you just got and you don't have anywhere to put it. So these are the treasure cards. Action die is, the attack die is placed here. These are the 2 action dice. And the game begins with the person who has the first player token taking the lead. All right, so as the first player, I take a look at my hand of cards. And the thing that is important for you to understand here is the top of the cards. That's the most important part of the card. All right, the tops of the cards. Because that's what tells you what you're going to be able to do when the dice are rolled. The important thing to remember here is that the left side are those things that are going to happen in the morning. The right side are those things that are going to happen at night. Left side morning, right side night. Got that? Beyond that, look at those cards. They are so vibrant, so colorful. And that's one of the main things that I like about this game, is that it so pops. I mean, it just draws people's attention to it. It's a really cool gateway game, if only for that. So the cards are great. A little side note, the artist actually made it to where you can put the cards end to end and actually create a mural. And I've never done it before, but a lot of people said you can do it, so I'll trust them. I'll take their word for it. But anyway, I look at my hand of cards. Okay, now I'm going to take the dice and roll. So I have a 4 and a 1. All right, so I look at my hand of cards, and a lot of different things can come into factor. First of all, you have to look at where you are on the board right now. We're just starting the game, so a couple of different things are important. We see that treasure right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away, and I do have a 4. And then I look at my cards. I've got a movement I've got a movement arrow here. So I think I'm going to have the 4 be in the evening, because the evening is the right-hand side of the card. Okay? So the 1 naturally goes here for the morning, evening, morning, evening. All right, so I know that this card is what I have to play. Now that I have chosen what's going to happen in the morning and what's going to happen in the evening, everybody else has to look at their cards and decide the same thing. All right, so gold's good, moving forward is good, and I don't know if I might want to get that treasure too, so I might choose that card. So yellow chooses this card to play, and then we'll just randomly turn one over for Tom. He never wins games anyway. All right, so after everybody's chosen a card, I turn my card over. It says that I get 1 food in the morning, and I move forward 4 spaces in the evening. So I take 1 food and place it into an empty hold. Then I move forward 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That allows me to take this token and draw a card. Dun, 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 dun. Don't have to show everybody what that is. I can just put it right here secretly. that's my turn. Now, a couple of things about movement. You can actually finagle your way to where you actually want to be through a comedy of errors, actually, because of the way movement is set up. Whenever you move to a space that has squares in it, that's how much food you have to pay for being there. So here you would have to pay 2 food, here 3, here 2, here you have to pay 4 food if you end your movement on one of those spots. In places that have a little pin with a gold top with a number inside of it, that's how much gold you have to be. It's a port. You can tell these places are ports. You have to spend money to be there. So as you're moving, here I would have to spend 2 food. So as I'm coming around here, I say, okay, well, I want to go here, but I don't have the right numbers to go to that spot specifically. So I could say, all right, I'm going to come over this way, and I can pay 3 food. Oh, well, I only have 2 food. Well, you still have to pay all of your food. Then you have to move backwards to the first spot that you can afford to be in. So I only have 2 food. I pay all my food. Can't afford to be there. Oh, I don't have any food left. I can't afford to be there. Now I'm back to where I wanted to be. I can take and get that treasure for myself. So that's one little nuance of movement that you can use to your advantage. Even if you know you can't afford to go somewhere, you can use that to your advantage by going backwards to where you wanted to actually end up in the first place. Now, Z turns over his card. He gets 1 gold. Then he moves forward 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's landed in a space that is occupied by another person, which begins a battle. Z is the one that moved in there, so he's going to be the one that actually is the attacker. I take on the role of defender. So let's take a look at the action die for a moment. Basically what this is just a bunch of numbers ranging from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then there is this explosion die. The explosion die means that you automatically win. It's the auto win. If the first person rolls this, the defender doesn't even get to roll. If the defender rolls this, the attacker rolls this, and the defender rolls this, they automatically win as well. So this is an auto win. Everything else is just a value. Okay? So Z rolls his attack die, and he gets a 4. I roll my defense, and I also get a 4. Now, when that happens, a tie, nothing happens. Nobody wins. All right, but let's say that I was spunky, and I rolled that. What I could do, the winner gets to take one of the contents of one of the cargo holds of the person who was defeated. So, if I wanted to, I could take all of his gold. Or, looking ahead, I'm going to need food on the journey. Don't really need gold right at the beginning. Whatever, I think I'll take the food instead. And I place that in one of my holds. But, what I could also do, remember that card that I got? That nasty cursed treasure that Z doesn't know that I have? Instead of taking something from him, I can give him that cursed treasure. There you go, buddy. Don't say I never gave you nothing. And that's the end of combat. Now, before combat actually begins, none of us actually have any of this yet. But if somebody had gunpowder in their hold already, in one of their holds, they could have chosen a certain number of these to play, and when it would have acted as a bonus, a plus. So if I would have played, let's just say 2 of them and rolled a 4, while Z rolled a 4, I would have had a 6 instead of a 4 like I originally rolled. Okay, so that's combat. Then Tom plays his card, and he played a gunpowder in the morning and a gold at night. Yeah, that's a weird card to play. Tom does weird things. Okay, so that's the end of round 1. First person token would move to the next person in line. We would all replace the card that we played, and the game would continue. So that's one of my favorite gateway games and one of my favorite family games to play. That is Jamaica, pirate racing game. As you could have probably have told by watching what little gameplay I did go through, it's a light game. It's not difficult to play at all. There are a couple of strange rules that might take a little bit of time for people to wrap their heads around, but all in all, it is a very light, simple game, and it is one that I think you and your family and friends will get a lot of playtime out of. It does not take a long time to play, and there is very little downtime at all because you all choose simultaneously the card that you're going to be using. They're all played out. Resolving the cards does not take a lot of time, so downtime is almost negligible in Jamaica, in my opinion, which really keeps everybody engaged in the game. So for family games, for a light gateway game, Jamaica is the way to go. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.